Hello friends, trust all of you are doing very well. The results for CA Intermediate and CA final exams came out recently, and post the results, a lot of students reached out to us on how they should commence preparation for CA final, right? And students reached out to us directly or on our app OneFin, through multiple ways they've reached out to us, and we thought, why don't we make a video and try and help out the students? Right. So, the specific question that a lot of students have been asking is how to prepare for CA final specifically for the subject SFM. They've also asked questions on, FR and, other subjects, but, in this video, I am going to address how you should commence your CA final SFM preparation. So, there are three aspects that I am going to cover in this video. What is the importance of this subject called SFM in your CA final context? Second is, how should you, plan your studies around CA final SFM? How should you prepare? What should be the methodology? What is the process? And third, how, what should you do during, 3 months or 6 months before exam, so that, you are very, very well versed and completely thoroughly prepared for this subject, right? So, three aspects: importance, how to study, and how to revise broadly. Right. So, the first aspect is importance. Friends, SFM, right, is a very, very important subject, not only from your examination perspective, but also from a career perspective. A lot of, fresh chartered accountants or, aspiring CAs intend to take up careers in finance. They probably want to work in, stock markets or mutual funds or, currency markets or, variety of things, right, or in banks or investment banks, M&A, variety of things. Specifically in the finance domain. So, for people like that, SFM is the subject that you should master. This is from a career perspective. Coming to your examination perspective, friends, remember the financial management subject is the paper number 2 in your entire, papers, all the papers that you write for CA final. And this paper number 2, because, it comes immediately after FR, which is paper number 1, you are still, slightly fresh. What you do in this particular exam will have a impact on how you perform in other exams. See, it is very easy for me to say that, treat each exam independently and, raat gayi, baat gayi, whatever you did yesterday, forget it, think with fresh mind and all that. But in reality, right, we're all humans. What we did yesterday does continue to impact our today, right? So, it is very important that you actually perform in this paper very well so that you go on a high when you attempt the other papers or subsequent papers after paper 2, paper 3, paper 4, so on and so forth, right? That is another aspect. And in fact, the more important aspect, if you ask me, is SFM is a very, very high scoring subject. You can score above 90s, you can score 95. In fact, in one attempt, somebody scored 100 also. Right. So, SFM is a very, very high scoring paper. And why does it assume importance? One, it will help you clear aggregate, it will help you, compensate for marks if you have got lesser marks in some other subject. And it may also, give you a chance of a rank if you are scoring very well in all subjects. Because it's a high scoring practical subject, it gives you that opportunity, right? So, all of these are very important. That is, how it helps you in your career, how, it helps you go on a high if you, write this paper well, and it obviously helps you for your marks on an overall aggregate basis or even rank basis. And more important of all of this, I actually think SFM is a fun subject. I truly believe that SFM is a fun subject. Okay. So, this is the importance of this subject. Now, coming to the second aspect. Second aspect is how should you study or how should you prepare? Now, this is a common question for people who, clear CA Intermediate and are appearing for CA final. Now, you see, when you start preparation for CA final, right, a lot of people tend to first relax in the first 2-3 months. Results have just come out, let me join my articleship, I'm joining an articleship, I'll have a laptop, I'll go to office every day. And if you're in Big 4, some of you may wear a tie and all that. It's all about looking cool, right? You're all cool, wool, everything is fine, boss, but you're still a student, you have not completed the course. So, according to me, right, immediately after you get your results, probably you should, search for articleships, and within 10-15 days, along with your articleship work, you should start preparing. You should start preparing for CA final exams, which are probably 2.5 years away. The reason is CA final syllabus is very, very vast, and SFM and FR are huge subjects. Believe me, they are very, very huge. FR is extremely deep, SFM is also very deep. So, In fact, what is more likely to happen is, if you finish studying, you will actually forget also if you don't revise. So, we will come to the revision aspect later. But from a preparation perspective, my suggestion is, very strong suggestion is, start off on FR and SFM first. Now, should I do FR first or SFM first? It depends on your comfort, but I would say start both of them parallelly, so that at least something is moving. Right. Please enroll with us in OneFin. We'll provide you books. We'll actually provide you with formula sheet. We have solved more than 500 problems. I have covered entire, study material, RTPs, MTPs, past exam questions, old syllabus, practice manual, you name it, we have it. So, for SFM, we have covered in depth, and same is the case for FR as well. Surya has covered FR in great depth. Right. So, my suggestion is, you start off preparing FR and SFM together first, and because I am an SFM faculty, I would say start off with SFM. Right. But either way, if you want to start FR first, do second SFM, that's also fine. But I would strongly suggest that you start off with these two subjects first. When you start off, the point that you have to note is, this is not slightly, actually a good deal of advanced version of financial management that you study in CA intern. And a lot of you might think that, this is again same NPV, PV, I will divide, I will do a cash flow and all of that. It is not that. There is good element of math also in this, especially, some topics like foreign exchange or interest rate swaps, or you get into, portfolio management, options, futures and derivatives. All these chapters are very decent amount of math. So, and good amount of logical skills also, very, very deeply logical and analytical. So, if you are good in numbers, and if you are, if this logical and analytical approach suits you, then you will genuinely enjoy the subject. If it doesn't suit you, even then you will enjoy, because you will start learning. Why will you start learning? Because I have taught it that way. We have put tremendous amount of effort. I and my team and here in OneFin have put tremendous amount of effort to ensure that the subject is easily understandable. We have given shortcuts, we have given mnemonics, we have given, ways and means in which you can remember stuff, ways and means in which you can answer the questions, what are the pitfalls that you should look at when you solve the questions, what are the formats that you should use when you solve the questions, because if you look at the suggested answers or study material answers and all of that, they finish off the problem in 3 steps. But if you go to the paper evaluation, requirements what ICAI gives to evaluators, they will say stepwise marking. And what are the steps that you are supposed to use? All of that is detailed very well in our course. In fact, this book, what is there here, has more than 500 problems covering entire, complete, top to bottom. You need not touch any other book. I am telling you by, banging my hand on the table, I am telling you, you need not touch any other book if you go through our book, both from problems perspective as well as theory perspective. Right. So, that is one part. So, when you start off, my strong suggestion is start off from the first chapter. First chapter is slightly theoretical, first couple of chapters, you will get into the flow. Third chapter, fourth chapter onwards, you will get into, when you get into security analysis, security evaluation, portfolio management, mutual funds, derivatives, all these are all practical, very, very nice, enjoyable practical topics, right? So, go along with them, and the 3 or 4 chapters what students find confusing, okay. One is derivatives, both futures as well as options, then foreign exchange, and then third they find sometimes confusing is interest rate swaps. Other than these 3, rest of the chapters are not actually, at least that's what the feedback I get, students don't find them confusing. So, first get into the groove and please make a schedule of 3 to 4 months within which you will finish entire SFM. Every day watch for 1.5 hours. I think our overall course is close to 170-180 hours. We also have revision videos and all of that. You please watch the entire course in a matter of 4 months. Every day 1 hour. Please spend Saturdays, Sundays, not go, wasting time in watching OTT. I know you have to watch OTT and you have to relax. I completely understand. But you are still a student. You have to finish CA final. And SFM is one such, magical bullet which will help you cross your CA final aggregate scores and all. Right. So, please finish it off in the first 4 months or 5 months max to max. And once you finish off, my suggestion is, we have given our notes. Some of you may want to write running notes, that is good. But if you don't want to write running notes, in fact, everything is covered in our material. You can probably mark, highlight, or put comments, or, stick post-its, or whatever you want to do, you do. And we have given a proper, thorough formula sheet. Please write the formula sheet, add 1 or 2 more pages and write your own extra stuff that you want to remember. We have given a completely comprehensive formula sheet, but if at all you feel something you specifically need to remember, please write it down, extra, add 1 more page, staple 1 more page and write it out. Okay, that is how we would suggest you go about preparation. And one more thing, please ensure that you've solved every single problem that I am solving in the class. Every single problem. Okay, don't miss every single problem. And if you are believing that you are getting the problems very easily, very fast, very smoothly, pause the video, solve the problem, check the answer. SFM is not a subject that you can understand or you will learn by watching. Okay, it is a subject which you solve, right? So you have to solve along with me, or pause the video. If you are very confident, pause the video, solve it on your own, check for the answer. Okay, this is the approach. Now coming to finally, what should you do after you finish off this first 4 months, 5 months, you finish off entire initial round of preparation. What are you supposed to do next? So after you finish this, one of the biggest problems that students face, whether it is FR, SFM, or any of the other subjects, if you finish preparation fast and your exams are 2 years away or 2.5 years away, typically what happens is you tend to forget. Especially GST and income tax, anyway, you may be, some of you may start preparation only in the last year, which I think is fine. Right, and you're, some of you, if you are in, mid-sized firms, you probably will be every day doing work related to GST income tax, you're in touch with the subject. Right, if you are in stat audit, you'll probably be, working on Ind AS related aspects, especially if it's a listed company, so you'll be in touch. Unless you are working for a financial services company, there also, unless you go into deep finance, it is very unlikely that you will actually be in touch with SFM subject in your day-to-day articleship related activity. So, or unless you are working in a job, if you, let's say you finish your articles and you're already working in a job and all of that, where the job is in a financial services company, then that's a different story altogether. But for a student who's passed CA Inter and and joined articleship and is doing final, very unlikely that he or she will be in touch with the subject during the course of articleship. So what? So it is very important that you continuously be in touch with the subject. Every month, spend probably 3 hours or 4 hours on one Saturday or Sunday, wake up early in the morning or stay late in the night, spend 3 hours by going through the entire book once. What are all there? What did I study? What are the concepts? Go through the entire formula sheet and don't go it in a hurry-burry manner. If it takes 5 hours, if it takes you 2 days, go through it in 2 days. But please go through. Don't have a timeline, I should finish everything in 3 hours. No, if you do want to have the timeline, then you will just be flipping pages. That is not the idea. Slowly go through. You have to go through, you open the, you'll have course access on our website or app. Just open the videos, just see what kind of problems are there. Go through 1 or 2 problems. It helps you remember. It helps you remember so that you won't forget. Do this over a period of, slowly, initially start off one month, then slowly you can increase the gap to 2 months. But 1 year before the exam, again come back to that 1 month interval frequency. And keep going through the subject, keep going through spend 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever it is, once in a month or once in 2 months, and go through the entire formula sheet, for entire notebook, what you have, entire videos, whatever is there. That way you will remember the subject. And this suggestion I have for every subject that you finish before 1 year before exams. Okay, every subject that you finish 1 year before exams, follow this process. And then what will happen? Then you will be in touch with all the subjects by the time you approach last 6 months or 1 year. At that point of time, let us assume last 6 months and you start your revision. That point of time, all you need to do is everything. You will see a lot of us forget, including me. If I don't study something, I forget. But here, because you have revised for continuous 1.5 year, you will remember a lot of stuff. You will remember at least 80%. So last, 6 months before the exam, first start off, with SFM and spend about 5 days or 7 days going through all the concepts and solving important problems. I have actually, in fact, listed out important problems and put them on YouTube also. In fact, my revision videos are also there on the website, right? You go through all of those. Once you go through, you are again back to, your super level where you remember everything. Once you do that, then start taking mocks. Please don't take mocks 2 years in advance. It doesn't serve any purpose. You have to take mocks one after the other, exam after the exam, in exam environment closer to the exam, probably 4 months, 5 months, 3 months before the exam. Then start taking mock tests, write at least 3 or 4 mocks. Some of you may have a doubt, do I have to solve old exam papers? See, I have solved all the problems of old exam papers are comprehensively covered. But have you solved them in an exam condition of all topics combined together? No, you have not solved. So probably solve, the latest exam paper, whatever you have, you see whether what is your ability to solve that paper. So solve 3 or 4 mocks, we ourselves give a test series, solve last 1 or 2 past exam papers. And 10 days before the exam, all you need to do is again revise, spend 5 hours, you are back to normal. This is possible only if you have spent 2 years revising. If you have not spent 2 years revising every month 5 hours or something, then obviously your preparation strategy will be different. Okay, so this is the broad idea of how you should go about preparing for SFM, and anyway you will get 1 day off before your SFM exam. On that day also you spend about 7-8 hours going through everything. You will remember everything provided you have put in enough effort. Okay, so just like what all of us, we only see that Sachin Tendulkar or Virat Kohli or Dhoni or any of these top cricketers or top actors whom we see that their life is must chill, cool, they're hitting something like this, they're going acting and they're getting money. It is not like that. They all would have put hours and hours and years of effort behind this. Right. Same way for your exams also. If you put 2 years of effort, you will get phenomenal results on the exam day and the results day. Okay, so fair enough guys. So that is what I wanted to tell you, how you should go about preparing for SFM. I hope that you like this video. I hope that this was very useful. I hope that you, all of you will enroll with us. This book that we have is fairly comprehensive, well written, well structured, with a book with a lot of problems, 500 plus problems, hints for answers. It is a one-shot comprehensive book, and we also give a formula sheet along with this. Right. So I look forward to more of you guys enrolling with us for CA final, SFM, all other subjects of CA final, as well as refer us to your friends or colleagues or relatives whoever are doing CA Inter or CA Foundation. Right. So that's the suggestion or update from my side. I wish you all the very best in your preparation. Chalo, see you, bye. All the best.